tech sector is a very interesting part of marketing to be in, and I've been in it most of my career. The reason that it's been appealing to me is because technology is about innovation, and innovation is about seeing things differently and doing things differently. Different outcomes become possible, and there's a lot of change. And so that rapid change means there's a lot of dependency on what I would call education. And education takes many forms, but what most people are looking for is a simple way to consume complex ideas and information. And PR plays a critical role in being able to simplify the complicated. You know, it's famously said that Winston Churchill once wrote a letter apologizing for the length of it because he didn't have time to write a shorter one. And I think that is a really nice encapsulation of the challenge that PR tries to address. I think the access to information today compared to where we were, say, 10 years ago, is radically different. The vehicles, the channels, the media are all very, very different from where we've been. And you know, if we forget about, for a second, just the underlying evolution of marketing technology, I think on every level we're seeing dramatic differences. One of the things that I think we all recognize as consumers is information that flows to us is now coming to us in ways that make it hard for us to discern what truth really is, assuming you believe there is such a thing as truth. So the concept of fake news, I think, is permeated even into the tech space as well. In some cases that creates more interest, but at the same time, it creates quite a challenge when you're trying to communicate a message to your target audience. So it's changed on all dimensions really in the last 10 years, I think. If I could predict how PR and marketing will change in the next 10 years, I'd probably be a much wealthier man than I am now. But I think we should probably expect, in some sense, more of the same, meaning that whatever steady state may exist today, it will be different again in 10 years from now. I think the essence of PR remains, how do you articulate and communicate a message in a way that is heard and understood? And to get that message through requires an ability to create interest. And you know, at one extreme you have sort of clickbait headlines, but people tire of them very quickly. And if you want to maintain a sort of an authentic flow, you've got to be able to dig deeper, and you've got to be able to understand what's motivating your audiences, and how do they feel they get a payoff from the time they invest in consuming the content that you want to give them. So my sense is that we'll become smarter about how we do that. I also think technology will have a much bigger role to play in content creation, and the ability to, for example, summarize long documents and turn them into social posts. That's already a reality today. I think that will pick up the pace. And so the ability to apply artificial intelligence and machine learning will become super relevant in the PR space as much as anywhere else, I believe. For people that are thinking of going into PR as a profession, or even moving into PR as a profession going forwards, I think this ability to appreciate how PR contributes to the overall marketing mix is extremely important. You know, it's no longer a function that can exist in isolation. It has to be a part of the totality of what we're doing. And you know, if we think about some of the bigger marketing challenges that we face, creating new market categories, actually repositioning brands, and being able to accommodate, you know, the rate and pace of M&A and evolution of businesses today. These things require an understanding of the business context. And frankly, in the tech space at least, having some ability to grok kind of the underlying technologies is extremely helpful to understand impact. At the end of the day, we're trying to prioritize, we're trying to focus, we're trying to point people to things that matter. And for us to be able to do that, we need to be able to bring enough of our own context and experience to bear to be useful as a member of the team trying to achieve those goals. So the difference between a good PR person and a bad one, well, it's pretty clear that a bad one is one that doesn't get stories published and is a pain to work with. But by contrast, you know, a good PR person is someone that is able to bring perspective to the client, to be able to present some ideas to, potentially, you know, preferably ideas that are fresh, that are not out of the sort of pulled from the shelf, but really are a response to the unique situation that the client finds themselves in. And even though there are always parallels, it's never the first time for anything in our world, at the same time, it's the unique combination of challenges, and the ability to have someone to provide that kind of advice and guidance that really marks out a great PR person from even just a good one.